Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a couple of modifications that I'm going to make to the recently released Marvel Select PS4 Advanced Suit Spider-Man in order to increase his articulation. Because if you've seen my review of this figure, or you saw my comparison video with the Figuarts and the Legends figures, then you know that my biggest problem with this figure is the fact that his articulation doesn't work as well as it should. I think they did a good job with the amount of articulation they put into the figure, and where they put it is really good too. It just doesn't function as well as it could. So I'm going to do my best to fix that in this video. And just so you know, I'm not going to make the modifications on camera only because I'm going to be using a knife and a Dremel and stuff like that. And I'm not coordinated enough to record it and actually do it at the same time. I'm likely to like stab myself or something like that. So I'm just going to do it step by step and show it to you. And I really hope that that's helpful. So what we're going to be focusing on is mostly the head area, the torso, and then possibly the ankles and the hips. We'll have to see how it all works out. But the first thing we're going to do is soak this guy in some super hot water and take it apart. Okay, so here we have Spider-Man all broken down into pieces, and it was very easy to take this figure apart. All I had to do was soak him in hot water for a little bit, and he pretty much just popped apart without very much effort at all. So that's a good thing. And what we're going to be doing here is mostly working on the torso. So check out the kind of joints they have going on here. They have one of these guys, and this kind of sucks sometimes. But what my plan is to like make a little notch right here so that this joint could travel forward into that notch, like into a little pathway that I'll create for the thinner part of this dumbbell joint. I think that's what it's called. And this thing will just kind of travel in there when I'm trying to crunch the figure. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the upper part of the torso, but on the back side, so that this top part is traveling through the back here. And then also the middle of the joint is traveling forward in the little notch I make here. That's my plan. I don't know if that'll work out, and I'm not even sure if that made sense how I explained it, but that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to try to do a similar thing on the lower torso area, but check this out. It's got like a big ass ball joint right here. So it's going to be kind of tough, but I'm going to try to do the same thing, make a little notch right there so that when I crunch it forward, it like bends forward, you know. That's the goal. I would really like to get like this much crunch out of it by the time I'm done here. But we'll see. I don't know. That's kind of a lot, but we'll have to. Yeah, nah, it's never going to get that crazy. But we'll see. I mean, if I could get something like that, that'd be dope. Same thing with the head. I hate that they use this joint on the head. It would have been cool if they just used a hinge joint. But yeah, now I'm not sure how to do it here, because I'm afraid if I try to notch it out here, it's just not going to, I mean, it's just not going to hold, you know. There's not enough room there, but we'll see, because I really want to get him to look up. I don't think I'm going to be able to get him to look up that much, but I'm going to try. Also, I might go ahead and try to trim out a little bit of the inner part of the shoulder here, just so I can make it so his arms could get in front of him just a little bit more. But I really like the way this all looks, so I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, I'm going to try to work on that. I think that'll be good if I could make it so that his arms could come out in front of him a little bit more, you know. But we'll see once again. And the other thing I'm going to try to do is cut away a little bit at the plastic right here, so this joint could come up a little bit higher, so that when he is crouching, he could have like a more secure footing with his foot coming up higher. You know, I'm hoping to get it to come up like that or something, you know. So those are the goals, and we'll see how well I can execute here. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Bam! Okay, so we're back. I went ahead and did my surgery. I did all the slicing and dicing that I felt was necessary on this. And I think we got where we want to be. So let me go ahead and show you exactly what I did. Starting off with the upper torso. So he has that hole in there. And I was kind of hoping that I could notch it out so that the stem of the ball joint could kind of travel in there. But the upper part of it's not hollow. So I really couldn't make that happen, so this was kind of useless, to be honest with you. Another thing I did that was a little useless was I did try to trim out the inside of the arm here so I could bring his arms forward a little bit. I wasn't really able to do that. I mean, I probably could have cut a bunch out of here, but then it would have messed up the sculpt, and that's the strong point of this figure. So I didn't want to like damage the figure to slightly increase the articulation. So you know, this didn't really work. Hopefully I could think of something in the future, but I did try to trim out a little bit in there just to make it so his arms could come forward a little bit more than they were before. But, you know, I didn't get too much out of it. And then right here, though, this worked out pretty nice. So here's the neck. And as you can see, I made a little notch right here as well. It's not very clean and it's not very straight and smooth, but it works. So it makes it so the stem from the ball joint could kind of travel down that channel And obviously we'll take a look at that in just a minute after we pop this guy together. I just want to be sure to show you exactly what I did. I just cut out a little channel there. And one key thing, before you start cutting away at any of this, make sure the plastic is nice and soft. I soaked, every time I made some kind of cut, I would soak the figure first, and then I would start cutting away at it. I had a very sharp X-Acto blade, so if you're going to be doing this, be very, very careful. Please do not cut yourself trying to fix your Spider-Man toy. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I had a very sharp X-Acto blade, and I would make sure that the plastic was very soft after soaking it in hot water. And when I did that, I was able to trim away at this very, very easily. I didn't even have to pull out my Dremel, so that's a good thing. But yeah, as you can see there, I have the little channel for the neck peg. And then let's go ahead and look at the lower torso, because I did a very similar thing right here. As you can see, I notched this out, and now this joint could travel down into it like that. So that was the goal, and that worked out pretty good. And I also notched out a little bit down here, and this wasn't as effective, but I think it still helped out the movement just a little bit, so that's good. And then the other thing I did was I trimmed away at right here, and I think it worked out pretty good, because now the peg here can travel up a little bit further than it could before. Check that out. So that's pretty nice right there. And the other thing I did was I trimmed away a little bit at the inside of the shoe, just like right in here, just a very tiny little slice. Not very much at all, but I think that and this working together, like the little cut in here and the little cut in the foot working together, I think it added just enough, you know, so you could get his foot way up there now. But yeah, so that's all the cuts I made. Let's go ahead and pop this thing together and see how it all worked out. All right, so here he is all put together. I put a lot of work into this. Let's go ahead and see if it worked out. So let's start off at the head. Check this out. Bam! Look at that. How awesome is that? It really should have come right out of the box like that. It's ridiculous how limited the head movement was before, but this right here is perfect. And then moving on to the torso. I'm so excited about this because check this out. Boom! Oh man, I did not think that I was going to be able to get it to bend this much. Look at that. That's beautiful. And you know the coolest thing too, it doesn't even look like I made any kind of modifications to the figure. You could put him exactly how he was right out of the box with no problems. The only exception to that is the back of the neck. I did go a little crazy because I wanted him to be able to look all the way up. So when you have him just looking straight, you can see the little channel that I made right there. But it's on the back of the figure. I think that it was a sacrifice that was worth it, because look at that head movement. That's awesome. But for the torso, there's pretty much no effect to the look at all, except for, I guess we could say right here, if I push him back a lot, then you could see a little cutout on the waist here. But again, a very small sacrifice that was worth it, because look at this. Boom. Look at that. That's amazing. Why couldn't they just make them come out of the box like this? If they did that, I mean, people would have loved this figure. I think, I don't know. I'm not sure what's up with Diamond Select. They put all the cuts there, but they just don't make them work. And it didn't take a lot of work to make this happen, to be honest with you. I cut out those little notches. I did my thing. It took me probably, what, like 45 minutes or something, maybe less than that. And most of that was just like letting it soak in the water. So I don't know why they couldn't just make it like this right out of the box. You know, people would have bought this thing up like crazy if that was the case. But look at that. Holy shit, that's dope. And then the thing with the feet worked out good too, because I'm able to get his feet up a little bit higher than they were before. And all that is just so he could crunch. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man, I'm so happy with the way this turned out. So let's go ahead and see if he could crouch down here. Yep, look at that. No problem at all. That's better than most Marvel Legends figures are able to crouch down. Look at that. How perfect is that? Oh shit, that's so dope. I'm so happy with this figure. Not only is it the best PS4 Spider-Man figure, it's now one of my favorite Spider-Man figures. I'm like so excited about how this came out. And you could still do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. So yeah, look at that. So cool. So I just wish that they made it like this for everybody to buy, you know. Because like I said, I was using a very sharp knife, cutting away at this, doing my thing. I could have cut myself, you know. I'll take that risk if I want. But, you know, it kind of sucks for somebody that's not as comfortable with the knife because, you know, nobody wants to cut themselves trying to improve their toys. It should have came out of the box like this. But at the end of the day, I'm very, very happy that I made this happen because this is incredible. And Diamond Select, man, they just need to get on it. Just do it right the first time so people don't have to modify their figures. And they could do it, man. The cuts are there. And, you know, like, Gentle Giant did an amazing job at sculpting this figure and sculpting in all the articulation. But somewhere in the production of these figures, things just get lost or things just don't work out, you know. So I don't know what Diamond Select needs to do to make sure, like, the intention of the people that are designing these figures actually makes it into the hands of the fans, you know. Because if they do that, people will love their stuff. Because look at this thing, man. Who wouldn't want this Spider-Man figure? This is awesome. Such a beautiful figure. Oh man, I'm so happy about this. But anyways, I think that's it. I really, really hope that this video was helpful for you. And like I said, please be careful if you attempt to do this by yourself. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Peace.